to the 6th basics class on ECG. Today we will be discussing about the abnormal P wave. So in the last class we have discussed what are the basic parameters or the normal normal parameters of a P wave. So we are reviewing that before discussing about an abnormal P wave. Okay. So we have already told that the duration is less than 120 millisecond, or it is less than 3 small squares for a normal P wave, and the amplitude can be up to 1.5 millimeter in chest leads like V1, V2, V5, V6, etc. And the amplitude can be up to 2.5 millimeter in limb leads like 2, 3, AVF, etc. It is positive in lead 2, it is negative in AVR, and it is biphasic in V1. So we are not going to the details. Okay. So then we are going to the first abnormality, that is a right atrial enlargement. So what is happening in right atrial enlargement? The right atrium is larger than the normal right atrium. So what will happen? The depolarization wave have to travel more. So obviously the right atrial depolarization will last longer than the normal. Clear? So we are familiar with this triangle where the brownish part represents the right atrial depolarization and the violet part represents the left atrial depolarization. So normally how they will depolarize us? So this is the right atrial depolarization immediately followed by the left atrial depolarization. But in case of right atrial enlargement, how the right atrium will depolarize is that the right atrium will depolarize longer, and it will end only at the end of the left atrial depolarization. The right atrial depolarization will end only at the end of the left atrial depolarization. So what will happen? We will get a large P wave like this, where the duration is same but the amplitude is increased. This is how an enlarged P wave looks like. So in patients with right atrial enlargement, there will be a prominent P wave. Okay, so we will be discussing how they look in different leads. It is differs, we know that in limb leads like 2, 3, AVF, etc. Then what is the normal amplitude? It is less than 2.5 millimeter. How much it is? It is less than 2.5 millimeter. Clear? Okay. So that if the amplitude is more than 2.5 millimeter, we could say that there is increased amplitude. So in looking into the lead 2, 3 and AVF, if the amplitude of the P wave is more than 2.5 millimeter, that means there is a prominent P wave. That means there is right atrial enlargement. Here in this ECG, you can see that there are nearly 4 small boxes of P wave amplitude is there. So one small box is 1 millimeter. So 4 mean it is 4 millimeter. That is, it is more than 2.5 millimeter. That is, there is right atrial enlargement. Clear? Okay, next we will be going to the lead V1. Okay, in lead V1, what is the normal amplitude of the P wave? It is less than 1.5 millimeter. So if the P wave amplitude is more than 1.5 millimeter, we could say that there is right atrial enlargement according to the lead V1. Okay, in this ECG we could see that what is the total P wave amplitude? It is nearly 2.5 small box, so that the amplitude is 2.5 millimeter. That is, it is more than 1.5 millimeter. That is, there is right atrial enlargement according to lead V1. Okay, that is in limb leads, especially lead 2. If the amplitude is more than 2.5, there is right atrial enlargement. If in lead 1, if it is more than 1.5, there is right atrial enlargement. So we can use any of the method for diagnosing right atrial enlargement. Okay, and this condition is called P pulmonale. That is a right atrial enlargement that is seen in ECG. Then this condition is called P pulmonale, and we know that it is usually seen in with the patient with the core pulmonale. That is the patients with the right heart failure due to various lung pathologies like COPD, interstitial lung disease, and various other lung pathologies can cause the right heart failure. So it is a non-invasive method to diagnose right heart failure. If one of your patient present with known case of COPD, present with breathing difficulty, and you have taken an ECG, so you should look the P wave amplitude. If the P wave amplitude in lead 2 is more than 2.5 millimeter, that means he is suffering from right heart failure or core pulmonale. Clear? So next we will look to the next abnormality, that is the left atrial enlargement. Okay. So the same pathology happens. So obviously the left atrial depolarization will be longer than in a normal left atrium. Okay, so that assume that this was the initial depolarization, that is the initial half is right atrium and the second half is left atrium. Okay, so the right atrium will depolarizes normally. So in left, due to left atrial enlargement, what happens, initially it was like this only, left atrial depolarization. So in case of left atrial enlargement, what will happen, the left atrium will depolarizes longer like this. That is, the total duration initially was this, now it has become this. That is, in case of left atrial enlargement, the duration of the P wave will increase. The duration of the P wave will increase while the amplitude will be remaining the same. The amplitude will be remaining the same. Okay, so what is the normal duration in case of in lead 2? It is less than 120 millisecond. Okay, so if the total duration is more than 120 millisecond, that means there is left atrial enlargement according to lead 2. It can say if it is more than 110 millisecond, still we have to consider there is left atrial enlargement. In some P wave, we can see a bifid P wave can be seen. That is, normally we are seeing a P wave like this. So that in case of some case of left atrial enlargement, you can see there will be a notch, that is a bifid P wave. So either this length more than 120 millisecond is considered of left atrial enlargement, or this length, that is between this this hump, if the duration is more than 40 millisecond, still it is also considered as left atrial enlargement. Clear? So that is how we will look at left atrial enlargement in lead 2. Then we will come to lead V1. Okay, in lead V1 we know that we have a bifid P wave, that is a P wave that which has a positive part and a negative part. The positive part represents the right atrium and the negative part represents the left atrium. Okay, so that we only need the left atrium to diagnose left atrial enlargement in V1. Okay, so that if this duration is more than, left atrial duration is more than 40 millisecond, we could say there is left atrial enlargement according to lead V1. Or we can take this amplitude. If it is more than 1 millimeter, still we could say that there is left atrial enlargement according to V1. Okay, clear? Okay, so we will take this ECG. In this ECG you can see that there is nearly 1.5 small box, that is it is nearly 60 millisecond is the duration of the left atrium, and it is the amplitude is also nearly 2 millimeter. That is, there is left atrial enlargement according to lead V1. Clear? Okay, so this condition is called P mitral, that is a P wave with an increased duration that is more than 120 millisecond, with or without a notch, as seen in this picture, is called a P wave. Okay, is called a P wave. Okay, so that if so it is very classical in conditions like mitral stenosis, or especially this left atrial enlargement will also seen in various conditions like LV dysfunction, patients with aortic stenosis, or etc. hypertension, etc. So it is a non-invasive method which helps you to diagnose left atrial enlargement. Okay, so this is a summary of the topic. So this is a normal P wave in lead 2, a biphasic normal P wave in V1. Here there is increased amplitude, that is right atrial enlargement. Here also there is increased amplitude, that is also right atrial enlargement. Here you can see that there is increased duration with a notch, that is a left atrial enlargement. Here you have both increased amplitude and duration, that means there is both right atrial and a left atrial enlargement. So this is summary. So we will be going to third abnormality, that is an inverted P wave. Okay, so an inverted P wave means it is arising, not arising from SA node, it is arising from somewhere. Okay, so it can be either from the AV node, which AV node, that is also we called a junction, or it can also arise from an atria or any other side other than the junction. It can arise from any other side, especially from an atria. Okay, so that if both can be diagnosed. So you are seeing an inverted P wave, so we are suspecting an ectopia ectopic atrial wave, or you are suspecting an P wave which is arising from the AV node or a junctional rhythm. So so it is very important to differentiate both of them. So if it is arising from other side than the AV node, that is from an ectopic part of the atria, so that you just look to the PR interval will helps differentiate between them. Okay, so here you can see this is the PR interval. Okay, so here the PR interval is nearly 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes are there. That is, it is nearly 160 millisecond is the PR interval. That is, the PR interval is more than 120 millisecond. That suggests that this P wave arises from an ectopic position other than the AV nodal junction. Okay, so obviously if it is arising from the AV nodal junction, what will be the result? The PR interval will be less than 120 milliseconds. So looking to the PR interval will helps you to differentiate between a junctional rhythm from an ectopic rhythm. Clear? And that is the fourth abnormality, that is the multifocal atrial tachycardia. The name itself suggests what is meant by multifocal. That is multifocal, that is multiple. When we say multiple, if there is at least 3 or more than equal to 2 or more than equal to 3, that is the time when we use the term multiple. Okay, so multifocal atrial mean there is 3 foci, so more than 3 foci or at least 3 foci. Okay, so if the P wave is arises from 3 different foci, what will be the result? Each P wave will have different morphology. Here you can see an inverted P wave, here you can see a flat P wave, here you can see a normal P wave, here you can see here there is no P wave. Okay, so each of these 3 P waves are different. That is, there is a 3 different P wave morphology. So the next term is tachycardia. So what is tachycardia? If the heart rate is more than 100, we will call it as tachycardia. So the name itself suggests what is a multifocal atrial tachya. Multifocal atria, that means a P wave arising from at least 3 different foci or a P wave with 3 different morphology with tachycardia if the heart rate is more than 100. So that is a multifocal atrial tachycardia. Clear? So this is the last abnormality, AF. So about the AF we will be discussing in a separate chapter. So this is giving we cannot leave without saying anything about AF when we are talking about an abnormal P wave. We know that in AF, atrial fibrillation, that is, there is irregular. So everyone knows that an AF to diagnose, that is an irregular rhythm with an absent or abnormal P wave. A detailed discussion about the abnormal P wave, that is AF, will be discussing later. So you have to wait for that class. So this is about the basic things about the abnormal P wave. Please listen the class carefully. Thank you for your patient listening. Please subscribe and share to more people and more graduates and postgraduates to help them to learn more about the ECG. Thank you for listening.